India, Uday India.
Namaskar, I am Deepak Rath. I welcome you, all our viewers, to the Uday India digital channel. Friends, you will be happy to know that today we have come to Lalitgiri, Udaygiri, and Ratnagiri, which is popularly known as the Gold Diamond Triangle in Odisha, that is announced by Government of India. And this is a famous here we can find that Buddhist excavations are done here by different governments, by Department of Culture. And today we are fortunate that we have with us Dr. Harish Chandra Prushti, who is a famous researcher on Buddhism. How the government has taken initiative, it is because of his initiative that consecutive governments and the Department of Architecture, they have taken the initiative and they have found some important elements and aspects of Buddhism. And fortunately, recently in Lalitgiri, they have opened a national museum here, and Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has virtually inaugurated this. So we will come to know what is the relevance of a diamond circle here. Dr. Prushti, welcome you to Uday India. Can you tell us in brief what is the relevance of a diamond circle which you have done research, and what is the background and what has done till now?
Thank you. A very interesting question you have put to me regarding Lalitgiri, Ratnagiri, Udaygiri, which constituted the world famous Buddhist diamond triangle. Next to Puri, Konark, Bhubaneswar, which earlier, much earlier, was formed the historic Golden Triangle. So, judging gravity and omnipotence of the Buddhistic heritage, Buddhist heritage of Lalitgiri, Udaygiri, and Ratnagiri, which can go back to 2000 years back. It was lying buried under the debris.
Yeah.
It could not have been opened due to the negligence, sheer negligence, and due to lack of proper inventive research, and completely isolated from the public limelight. Whenever Puri, Konark, Bhubaneswar, they earned international omnipotence, potency, and also preeminence, gravity, but it is more than this Lalitgiri, Ratnagiri, Udaygiri were more popular, were more powerful, were more potential in the Buddhistic point of view, that these were lying buried under the underground debris, without coming into the public limelight. But fortunately enough, the Buddhist monuments were lying scattered hither and thither, randomly scattered, haphazardly scattered, from hilltops to plateauland. In case of Lalitgiri, as well as Udaygiri, and Ratnagiri was completely buried under the debris. Fortunately, John Beams, Chandrasekhar Banerjee was the foremost SDO of Jajpur. He first surveyed these two sites. He was an intellectual agent come administrator, SDO, at the then period. He came across the Buddhist sites of Udaygiri as well as Lalitgiri. And he also published the report, the Alti Hills of Kotak and Mahabinagi Hills. And also, he also prepared a note, short notes, of the Buddhistic importance of Udaygiri, including Lalitgiri. Thereafter, it also drew the attention of the scholars from the home and abroad, and a large number of scholars, they ran and rushed into the sites like Lalitgiri and Udaygiri. like the scholars like R.P. Chand, eminent archaeologist of Calcutta Circle, superintending archaeologist. Then S.C. Chokladar, professor of Calcutta University, 1928. R.P. Chand in 1930. Then thereafter, Pratap Chandra in also 1932. D.P. Ghosh, the eminent archaeologist, as well as the art critics. He also visited the sites. There, Dr. Navin Sahu also visited the sites, and also thereafter, Dr. K.S. Behra, eminent archaeologist, my guru, Reverend Guru, and also the eminent professor of history and archaeological survey of India, archaeology, cultural archaeology, and a professor and head of the Utkal University Bangalore. He also, and also I also accompanied with him visiting the sites, and also Mr. Uday Bevarta, he was also the eyewitness, and in his residence, a camp was also set up there. Dr. Behra and I also worked with them in Ratnagiri as well as Udaygiri. So Udaygiri and Ratnagiri, they drew the international preeminence by the two scholastic giants and administrators. John Beams, the collector of Kotak, he also visited these two sites, and also Chandrasekhar Banerjee, the SD then SDO of Jajpur. This is the period of 1869 to 1875. And thereafter, in 1905, Manmohan Chakraborty, also the SDO of Jajpur, he personally visited the site. He stumbled at the site of Ratnagiri and became exclaimed, astonished, observing the haphazardly dispersed Buddhist monuments lying from top to bottom, from like the hilltop, peak of the hill to the pedestals of the hills, pedestal plane of the hills. So he became astonished and also prepared a report on Ratnagiri, and that also became more and more important source of information among the Buddhist researchers, scholars, and also the archaeologists, and and also the persons of the home and abroad, and the pilgrims, as well as the tourists as a whole. In 1905, it came to limelight. Judging the gravity of this Buddhist gravity of the sites, Dr. Devara Mitra first foremostly excavated the site Ratnagiri in 1958 to 61. Okay. First foremostly excavated by Dr. Devara Mitra, eminent archaeologist and ex-DG, that was General of Archaeology, and an eminent art critic and researcher. He foremostly took the adventurous initiative project of excavating Ratnagiri for the first time, taking much more hardships, passing through the muddy roads, and as well as also overcoming the rivers of Virupa through boat, for hazardous journey. Taking much more pain and difficulty, he excavated. 3 seasonal excavations were conducted, and mines of Buddhist monuments, sculptures, monuments, and also the exemplary sculpture masterpieces. The sculpture masterpieces were included mostly the various features, sitting postures, and textures of Buddha in Bhumishwar Mudra, and also in the Dhyana Mudra, Dharma Chakra Pravartana Mudra, Abhaya Mudra. These are variegated head postures. These were also came into limelight, including that. Besides the Buddha images of Buddha, but a large number of Bodhisattva images, Tara, and feminine divinities like of Vajrayana Pantheon, like Tara, Hariti, Vajratara, Marishi, then Pragyaparamita. These are the called feminine Buddhist divinities of Vajrayana period. They are also came to limelight. Besides it, the male divinities includes mostly the Maitreya, Manjushri, then Vajrasattva, Adibuddha Vajrasattva, Swayambhu, and Mahakala, and also Vajradharma Lokeswara, Lokanath. It is a large number of Buddhist divinities of Vajradharma pantheons, hundreds of Buddhist divinities that also unearthed from the excavations. It was a miraculous discovery, excavations undertaken by Dr. Mahamitra, which exclaimed the entire world as a whole, so far as the Buddhistic culture, heritage of Odisha is concerned. From the Buddhistic perspective, point of view, it was a landmark contributions, not only for the Odisha, but also India, as well as the entire world as a whole. So it also astonished, exclaimed, and also it was also stunned the eyes of the archaeologists of the home and abroad. A large number of scholars and also the dignitaries of Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan president, professor, and also the Burmese Prime Minister Yunu also visited Ratnagiri, also visited Uday, also visited Lalitagiri. Also, Professor Yunu, the Prime Minister, Burmese Prime Minister, also visited Udayagiri, 3 sites, knowing the gravity of knowing the preeminence, knowing the importance of the 3 Buddhist sites. The Buddhist countries took much more initiative, hazardous steps to highlight these sites by their own efforts and endeavors. And also, after excavation of Ratnagiri, this excavation also unveiled the ruins and reminiscences of the grand gigantic stupa, Mahastupa. It's called Mahastupa. It was 47 feet high during its heyday. That stupa was dilapidated, haphazardly dilapidated. The height of this peak point of the stupa was demolished. Only the dome was present. From dome to dome is present. It was built of the burnt bricks measuring 18 inches by 10 inches by 3 inches. It can also these bricks coincides. These bricks also symbolize with the bricks used in the stupas of Barbodar. Stupa built at Anuradhapur, Ceylon, and stupas built at Java and also Mexico, at Anuradhapur, Ceylon, also built at Udayagiri, Lalitagiri, etc. and Nalanda.
What is their position now? Are they being shifted to the current museum?
And these stupas are also they are the monolithic constituents elements. These are also lying like that at that one place. But the monuments, the exemplary sculpture masterpieces of Buddha and Buddhist divinities.
What they have got, the skulls, or what you have got from that venue?
These sculptures were preserved in the museum, sculpture sets.
Okay.
Sculpture sets, a thatched house. After that, by the pressures laid down by the scholars like this journalists like Uday Bevarta and others journalists from home and abroad, they drew the attention of the DG archaeology. Thereafter, there were a museum was set up at Ratnagiri. Earlier, these monuments, Buddhist monuments of Ratnagiri, both Udayagiri and Lalitagiri, that has been shifted to the international places of the home abroad, like Britain, Great Britain, London, Calcutta, Asutosh Museum, and also in the National Museum, and New Delhi, the museum.
How much monuments have gone to outside of the state?
Large number, galaxy of Buddhist monuments had already been shifted to the international gallery, international Buddhist festivals of America, at Chicago, and also at Toronto and Philippines, and also in the Musigumet Library, Musigumet Museum at France, and also London Museum, and also German Museum.
It is on record in government that
that is record that has been recorded by the scholars in the archaeological reports.
Okay.
But these monuments, these archaeological monuments, treasures that have not come back once again. It were also preserved there.
Why
It-
it was allowed to go abroad?
Due to ignorance, due to the lack of their lack of their own sensation, their dignity.
Or don't you think that our government should check this and not allow these
No, the government was not completely unaware of at that time about the sites.
without
Sites.
knowledge of the government, the people took away all the monuments.
These monuments were also sold by the then Zamindars.
Okay.
By the then Zamindars. 1928, when R.P. Chanda came here, the Jena family of this Ratnagiri, they have sold a large number of monuments to the Calcutta Museum, National Museum, Calcutta.
And what
The sites came under the jurisdiction of the Zamindars.
okay. But after formation of this government, at least after partition,
Thereafter, whenever the government was formed, when government are properly formed in the center and also state, they became conscious of this Buddhist sites, heritage, and thereafter in 1985, in 1972, the state government of Odisha Archaeology Department, they started excavation at Udayagiri. When the report of Chandrasekhar Banerjee, John Bemis, published in the journals, international journals, they drew the attention of these scholars and also government. Therefore, judging the gravity of the sites, the government of India, particularly central government of India, declared these sites as restricted monuments.
okay.
Centrally preserved restricted monuments.
When it was declared?
Prior in 1980, prior to 1973, 73.
So now, according to you, all the excavation works are done, or do you, as a researcher, feel that some more monuments may be there on to be unearthed?
Still, these three sites have preserved immense innumerable Buddhist Buddhist heritage, Buddhist monuments lying buried yet till now, and the funds are not available to accept all these sites.
Okay.
So as a researcher, I have discovered about 500 sites, particularly the Jajpur districts in the Ratnagiri and Uday and its adjacent environs. I have discovered about 100 sites.
100
sites.
Out of which only 3 sites.
Only 3 sites are there. All these sites, my discovered sites were partially or completely buried under underground debris. And by the trial, experimental explorations, and also judging the nature of the mounds, I could have successfully opened partially the monuments. The monuments were also preserved at particular places in the temples as well as the adjacent sites, villages of the responsible persons, and the Buddhist site, the viharas were also lying underground. If the excavation properly conducted at that place, the viharas, the monasteries like Ratnagiri, Laltigiri, Udayagiri, Nalanda, Vikramshila, Ceylon, and Java, Barbodar, that must be come out.
Okay.
But the government, listen, after the excavation of the unscientific excavation made by the archaeological department of Odisha, they are not scientifically excavated. The stupa, the main stupa, called Radhanakandi at Udayagiri, that are completely dilapidated, destroyed, partially destroyed, damaged. But due to lack of technical expertise.
Okay. So why the central government?
At that time, central government has not taken it.
But now it is proposed.
Yes. Whenever news published in the journals, papers, Times of India, the government opened their eyes. So great, so powerful, so potential the site, so famous world site, the Buddhist sites like that or Laltigiri and Ratnagiri is lying buried here. That's why the exception stopped. urgently stopped, and that was handed over to the government of India, Department of Archaeology, Archaeological Survey of India, Bharatiya Puratattva Vibhag. The government of India, Archaeological Survey of India, to undertook the excavation program at Udaygiri in 1985, simultaneously at Ratnagiri. Prior to 1985, Dr. K.S. Behra, my guru, eminent professor of archaeology and ancient cultural archaeology, he first foremostly inspired by the then minister Janak Bala Patnaik and also Matrupoli. And Dr. Behra has not had not possessed diploma certificate. Hereby the government of initiative of state as well as center, he has been deputed. He has been admitted into the diploma archaeology at New Delhi and took the first class record, gold medal record in the archaeology. And under his initiative, under his leadership, under his initiative, care and custody, Lalitgiri establishment first started in 1977. When I was a student of archaeology at Banivere.
Okay.
I am a direct disciple of Dr. Behra, and also the camp was placed at other Bevarta's house. We both Dr. Behra and the camp officers, including the excavators and myself, also housed were resided under his residence, and the excavation started for 1 year. And Dr. Behra miraculously, it's a miraculous phenomenon he had done, that excavated the sites of Chaitagriha sites. So many stupas, grand stupas, brick, both stoneworks were excavated, came to light. And Dr. Behra also got a gold coin of Gupta period, Chandragupta Vikramaditya period. That was also a remarkable discovery of Dr. Behra. That coin is still preserved in the Odisha State Museum. After that, the excavation stopped due to lack of funds. Thereafter, it was handed over to government of India, Archaeological Department. Dr. G.C. Chawle, late lamented historian and also the great archaeologist, he undertook the responsibility of excavating the Lalitgiri and Udaygiri sites. In 1985, started the excavations, and it was a rare discovery, almost a rare, the extraordinary the discovery of the relic caskets of Lord Buddha. The caskets at the main stupa, that is called Londa Pahad, top of the hill, the peak of the summit of the hill, that was called Chaitya Kuda. That mound was enshrining the ruins of a grand stupa, stone stupa like Sanchi, Nagarjunakonda, Saranath, and also Barbodar, and also Ceylon. That was the grand stupa. That was sky kissing stupa. That was 25 feet high during his day. That was also drawing the attention of the mariners and also the boatmen, and the light which was posted at the top of the Londa hill on the stupa, that are also served as the lighthouse posts to the Bay of Bengal. And the mariners, they rushed to the sites that was the place of land place started. That landscape has started from Ratnagiri. That's why Dr. Chawle had discovered the 3 gold caskets. The caskets were so interestingly and mysteriously arranged like the Chinese puzzle box. The first, that I was also there. When the excavation made and the relic casket discovered at the top of the Londa hill, at that time I was accompanied with Dr. Chawle. That casket is just like a small votive stupa, chaura, like a chaura. That is chondrolite, and that is socket. And also Ojan Bevarta also was there. He also knew it. And when the casket was the sockets was opened, within the womb of the chondrolite casket, that was a soapstone casket. Soapstone. Steatite casket. That was also the brown in color. Khadi pathar casket. That was also a socket. When that socket was opened, that was also a silver casket. When the silver casket was opened, that was also gold casket of gold. When the gold casket was opened, unveiled, that gold casket enshrined the tooth relics of Lord Buddha have about a half inch long, and also half inch in breadth. That was just like looking like so dazzling, like the ice, Obra and ice, so white teeth is there. And very interesting enough, that tooth, triangular in space, triangular in size and shape, triangular. Tathagata teeth, Sakya Singha's teeth is not ordinary teeth of ours. That tooth was systematically encircled by the gold wire, and also at the top of the two sides, that also the lotus of gold lotus are there, finials. That tooth relic has been encapsulated by the wire, golden wire, and at the top sides there are two golden lotus are there in pure gold, near about 36 bodies, approximately. These were also past casket that was there. 3 caskets were discovered, 3 corners from south, from east and north. 3 corners, cardinal compass directions. On the matrix home of this main stupa, the 3 caskets were discovered. 3 caskets placed in triangular shapes. In past caskets, they are constituted, that formed a digit constituting 4 caskets. Stone casket, the steatite casket, the silver casket, then gold caskets. But so meticulously preserved, so cautiously, so carefully, and so scientifically preserved.
Sir, that period about Singhoprastha and
Coach, that are so interestingly preserved that we became astonished. The archaeologists became astonished. Like such type of preservation cannot be found, cannot be discerned ever, either in Nagarjunakonda or in any elsewhere in the world, Buddhist sites. It is exceptional. It is exceptional paradox, a contrast. So far as the discovery of the relic caskets, for the first time in the history of the cultural Buddhist Buddhist cultural world, is a wonder. It's a wonder and also astonishment for us, for the entire world as a whole. So this is the caskets that were also preserved.
That gold test is there in the museum, or they have taken to
That has been shifted to Department of Archaeology, Odisha State Circle, to preserve underground. But thereafter, after we have visited 210 with other Bevarta, and I have been awarded with the gold medal as National Buddha Gold Medal Award for my research, judging the gravity of the research. I have been awarded, and also the World Buddhist Heritage Award from New Delhi. Vice President had awarded me, and also at that time, the then MP Mohan Jana, he also accompanied with me with two persons. We visited to the Archaeological Survey of India, Director General Joshi, Dr. Gautam Senegupta. He was a friend of us. He received us, and we discussed about the very dilapidated conditions of the relic caskets, which had already been missing. At a stage, it is better called missing, because according to the rules and regulations of archaeology, the monuments discovered from that particular place should be preserved there. If that has been shifted elsewhere, then the regulation is told, the regulation of 6, the logic says, archaeological logic, that the monument displaced is monument lost. The monument lost is the heritage ruined. In that logic, we got him appraised. He became appraised, convinced of our fact, of our discussions, and we both photographed with him, and he assured us that the relics should be shifted to Ratnagiri and to preserve at their own place. And thereafter, a museum must be set up. And also, we have a gave proposal. We gave proposal for the establishment of the museum at Udayagiri. Udayagiri has inlaid thousands and thousands of monuments, Buddhist sculptures and monuments, lying hither and thither scattered randomly. That has been shifted to the Odisha state of the Archaeological Survey House. The sculpture sets in the official buildings. These were also preserved. But these were not returned to these original sites. We discussed with Dr. Sanigupta. He assured us. Thereafter, the museum, facing utmost pains, hazards, and also with hortals against the government of Odisha, that the then officials they demanded that Lalti has not yielded relic assets. Really, there is no relic asset here. They gave a false, fantastic report to government of India. Also, government of India, also in the state press report, that there is no relics are found at Ratnagiri. It became a bolt from blue, thunderous curse over us. The journalists like Uday Bevarta and Torito Bhuya, and also we also make hartals with the
Now everything is settled.
the museum also set up there.
What do you expect now? What is the current situation? You want that some more places should be excavated by
Yes,
government of India?
that the urgent need
Yeah.
need of the government of India, particularly because judging from the available of the funds, this site should be documented, properly explored and excavated. The monuments should be properly preserved for the sake of our heritage.
Thank you.
And also in the Udayagiri, India also 1985 under Dr. Chawla's initiative, these were also excavated. The grand stupa, main stupa was excavated, housing in 4 compass quadrants the 4 Dhani Buddhas, who was exceedingly wonder in the Buddhist world, so far as the Bodhisattva. Mahayana Bodhisattva concept of Buddhism was concerned. From that standpoint, from that perspective, Udayagiri's contribution is extremely overwhelming. And the 4 Dhani Buddhas, these were inside 4 compass quadrants, 4 cardinal directions, that is Akhyava, Amitabh, Amoghasiddhi, Vairocana, Amitabh. These were 5 Dhani Buddhas. They were adorning the 4 compass quadrants. In the east, that is Akhyava. In the west, Amitabh. In the north, in south, it is Ratnasambhava. In the north, it is Amoghasiddhi. Which are extremely rare innovations. No, we can find it such type of monuments like Nalanda, or anywhere else, or in Nagarjunakonda, or entire India, or elsewhere in the world. It is unique innovations.
Okay. So we came to know from Dr. Prushti that he has really told us, informed us about some eye-opening informations, and he claims that the excavation and work and the preservation and all the monuments what they have been able to recover, that is best, not in Odisha but in India, even outside India also, all over the world. You cannot get better monuments than this place. Thank you. We will now go and see the visuals, what was really happened, and what more informations we can get it from Buddhist side.